Okay. Shall we take a read? Shall we take a read, boys? Ah! What happened? Oh, okay. Let's take a look, guys. Obviously, you can link. I'm gonna link this so you guys have it on your own. It's on Maxroll, okay? Feel free to experiment. This is just a teaser for the full reveal that we're gonna be doing on February. You also have all the Warlock embeds, all the Warlock skill embeds with all the trees. You can take a look at all the trees, all the nodes, everything, right? Everything is for you to take a look and to actual theory craft and not have to scroll over 20 images on Reddit and things like that. So you can just theory craft your things. We also have some explanations about builds, mechanics, etc. that we thought are gonna be good. So if you want to have some ideas for builds, you can get this from here. We'll take a look at it after, And obviously the big Falconer teaser. This is just a teaser, obviously. Skills are missing. Obviously, a lot of the actual nitty-gritty of the class is missing, but maybe we can get some information about what the Falconer is supposed to be. Thank you very much for the gift us, guys. Thank you very much for the support. And let's take a look. You guys can open up the link in the description and follow along, or just like check it on your own or whatever. This is just meant for you to guys start getting excited about it. And I hope you guys enjoy it. So let's take a look at the Falconer passive tree, my friends. First, health and dodge rating. I mean, could have been a bit more exciting to start. But I'm sure there's going to be even better things, right? Let's take a look. You have additional dodge rating and you gain a portion of your maximum health as endurance threshold if you have not been hit recently. Okay? So this is kind of like a, a one-shot protection thingy, no? Where if you're not getting hit, you should be able to use this. This might be pretty good before doing, bosses and things like that. If you're really scared about getting one-shot by a boss or something, might be worth speccing into going into this before going into a dungeon or something. So it sounds pretty good. Let's take a look at this. Increased dodge rating, increased mana regen, and mana gain on dodge with a 1 second cooldown. Depending on the build you do, I assume, let's just say you have a build that summons a skill that costs 20 mana every few seconds. Well, as long as you're dodging and you're in the combat, you should be able to self-sustain mana pretty well with this. Again, pretty interesting. We will see, actually. We will see how useful this is, but pretty interesting. By the way, guys, obviously this is early access. This is coming from the current state. So a lot of this might get changed, a lot of this might get upgraded, etc. Let's take a look at Raptor's Wing. You have a chance to gain haste for 2 seconds when you or your Falcon hits an enemy. Additionally, you deal more damage while you have haste. Well, straight up a multiplier. Pretty much every rogue build uses haste. So you are probably going to be using this on pretty much every rogue build, I would say. It just looks good to me, Chance to get haste, 5%, and 5% more damage, sounds good. And it should be also pretty good with things like shadow daggers that lack multipliers, etc. So very exciting. I like these small multipliers spread around abilities much better than big multipliers on skill trees. So I think this is a good shift of design by the EAG. So that's really cool. Then of course we have increased minion damage, and Falcons and Ballista have flat crit chance. Minion support, Monka? Minion players are getting it away with it again. I mean, what is this? What is it with minions, huh? Pretty exciting, obviously. We don't know much about the Falcon yet, but it's gonna be. I mean, we know he's a Falcon and he fights along with you, pretty much. But we will see on February 8th. Remember, guys, February 8th full reveal. Okay. What else? You have a chance to gain a stack of Crimson Shroud on your Falcon or Ballistas hits an enemy. Remember, guys, that Crimson Shrouds give you bleed chance and less damage over tide taken. So I don't know. If you're able to proc this a lot, it might get pretty insane. So we will see. We will see. Dexterity. Your Falcon deals additional throwing damage per point of dexterity. Huh. Throwing damage, huh? Interesting. Interesting. Who the fuck knows? We will see. We'll have to see. But we can assume at least he has throwing damage scaling, no? We will see what he throws. Huh? Like, have you ever seen a Falcon that throws things? I don't know. We'll see. Okay, let's continue. Tactician. Melee damage for Falcon. Throwing damage for Falcon. Dude, this Falcon is ready for war. Holy shit, guys. Melee damage and throwing damage. What is this bird gonna do? You know? Is it just gonna fucking... woo! This is gonna be crazy, you know? We will see. You know, remember, guys, that the Falcon is supposedly being a minion, right? We can see here the increased minion damage, etc. So we will see. Pretty exciting, to say the least, right? Let's see here. I mean, what is this? Increase melee damage with 200 weapons. Huh? You have increased melee attack speed with wielding a 200 sword. Fire penetration per int with a staff. And melee damage per 10 dexterity with a spear. Are you being a monk? Fire penetration per int with the staff. The last airbender. What is going on here? I mean, we will see. I'm sure someone's gonna kick something. Someone's gonna cook. It comes to mind right now. It comes to mind, for example, the Jasper stuff, right? The Jasper stuff that gives you melee damage and fire damage and all that stuff with ignites. That comes to mind. But we will see, I guess. We will see. Pretty exciting. And you also get, well, you guys can see. You guys can see now. Increase damage with the spear, bleed chance with the spear, increase flurry attack speed with the spear, and puncture range with the spear. This is what happened, guys. The developers watched the Huntress teaser of PoE 2, and they were like, yoink. You know, that's kind of like how it sounds to me, you know, that we're gonna have some puncture action. We will see. We will see. Pretty interesting. On top of that, obviously, increase throwing attack damage and increase throwing attack speed. We definitely seen like a center heavy throwing stuff, right? All of these points have been related to throwing damage. Added throwing damage conversion to Falcon 50%. So again, you guys know ballistas also have something like that, right, on its skill tree. So they're gonna be able to scale with your own gear, seems like. So you're gonna be able to do some kind of hybrid, maybe, where you're throwing shit, and maybe the Falcon is doing shit, and everyone's just throwing stuff. Is Ballista even good? Well, it's gonna be now with this. Let me tell you, 18 flat damage, flat 5 crit. It's gonna get pretty crazy. I'm sure. Okay, we have the throwing attack with the throwing attack stuff. Then we have increased damage with a bow. Okay, so there's also bow support. And chance to buff the Falcon. You deal increased damage while wielding a bow with your hits. Have a chance to grant your Falcon additional melee damage for 4 seconds. This has no stack limit. Hey, hear me out, okay? And your Falcon just like, whoa, whoa, whoa. This is gonna go pretty hard, I think. This has no stack limit and it's like a 20% chance to proc. So if you're just playing with something that hits a lot, like I'm just thinking I don't know, multi-shot, things like that. I wonder how much your Falcon is gonna evolve into Dragon. Does the duration reset? No, the durations are everything that has a duration like this will just like stay. But you know if you proc it 40 times, it's gonna be 40 flat damage. If you proc it 400 times, we'll see how crazy people. In my experience, every time something has no limit, people break it, right? That's my experience with the game, so we will see. Then we have Fencing Grace, sorry. Increase damage with a one-handed weapon, block chance with a one-handed weapon, block effectiveness per dexterity. Shield support. Okay, so far the Falconer seems to be a bit of a jack of all trades, no? He seems to have a lot of tools. And again, this note, hey, seems good. We will see. Let's go into the. Remember, guys, that everything we've seen so far, marksmen and blade dancers can get, right? So now we're getting into the Falconer only stuff after this note. So this is increased area for area skills, mana gained on trap detonation, trap detonation. Hey, any trap enjoyers? We leave it at that, guys. We leave it at that, okay? We leave it at that, boys. We leave it at that. We leave it at that, guys. Okay, let's get into the Falconer only stuff, okay? Falconer only stuff. Here, you have additional block chance. You have additional block and a chance to receive a glancing blow. Additionally, you regain health whenever you block or receive a glancing blow. Okay, so a bit more block and a bit more glancing blows. Kind of block only really available to the Falconer so far. And you're also, all your block chance is converted to glancing blow chance. Interesting, Obviously, it doesn't have that much synergy with the block effect thing, because you would lose your block. But, now you're not gonna be forced to use quivers or weapons of choice or things like that to cap your glancing blow. It seems like you're gonna be able to get 50% block on a shield plus 50% the glancing blow on the passive trees, and with that you should be able to get 100% glancing blow pretty easily, which is really nice. Again, you won't benefit from the block effect, but it's still pretty good. I like it. It's kind of thematic. I like it. Like a light shield fantasy, That's nice. Then, when you use a certain ability on your bar, you gain 3 stacks of Silver Shroud. This effect has 10-second cooldown. Very similar to the Marksman tree, right? But this is basically 3 Silver Shrouds, which is a free dodge, right? Every 10 seconds. Pretty good, in my opinion. Pretty good. And I think this is a 1 point. You for sure just put 1 point here. 1 point wonder, and you basically have 3 Silver Shrouds every 10 seconds. Really good. Especially considering you can get more. When it says when you use a certain ability on your bar, it means that you can basically shift it, right? So your number 1 ability is your Q, your Q, your W, your E, your R, right? So basically, or your right click. So if you have 1 point, it's gonna be your W. If you have 5 points, it's gonna be your right click, and so on, right? So you can basically set up where you want your flask, if that makes sense. Yeah. Then you have evasion tactics. Okay. Pretty standard note, I would say. Dexterity, increased armor, and increased dodge rating. Okay. So far, so good. It's a bit generic. And I see armor here. Let's see where this takes us. Relentless Talons. Increased damage, increased minion damage. Falcon health leads to you per dexterity. 0.1. 10 dexterity, 1% leech for you from the minion. To me, on paper this sounds pretty crazy. Because you're gonna be able to play minions and have sustain, right? So this looks pretty cool, especially if you're playing a brawler build or something like that. Really cool. Let's see. You have additional armor per point of dexterity. You know, of course, you know, increased armor per Falcon hit too. I think this can stack too. Recently it's 4 seconds. So definitely into the tanky vibes, no? The Falconer is definitely more tanky than the Blade Dancer, feels like. And he gets flat armor per dex, so he is gonna be a beefy boy. You're scaling a lot of dexterity with this guy. In the Falconer Plus, the Falcon plays you. Yeah, we will see. We will see. So far, we got Falcon teaser, trap teaser, decoy stuff. We will see. Let's continue. Increase damage over time. A portion of your bleed and poison hits apply to your Falcon. Okay, so if you want to play damage over time, I guess you can. But all the chats in this stream play crit. So this node doesn't exist for Lizard IRL enjoyers. This node basically doesn't exist. Okay? So let's move to the next one. Actually, this one, no? Falcon strikes and dive bomb are now instant cast. Chun, chun, chun. Dive bomb and Falcon strikes. Looks like abilities. We will see why they are. I am not allowed to say more, my friends. But so far we got traps. No, we got Falcon. We got dive bomb. We got Falcon strikes. Starting to shape up a bit. Huh? Starting to shape up a bit. Okay, let's continue. Haste on you has increased effect, and you gain haste for a short duration whenever you use a potion. You can get additional potion slots, and you get 20% haste effect and 5-second haste on potion. I think the haste effect can be pretty nice if you wanna like zoom like crazy, because you're always gonna have haste, right? Pretty good synergy for going fast. That's nice, you know. What is this? You take less damage while moving. Additionally, you have increased movement speed and dodge rating. These effects are doubled if your Falcon has hit an enemy recently. Okay, this guy is gonna be a tanky girl. She 12% damage reduction plus the armor plus, remember, you have 25% less damage taken while moving on the base Blade Dancer or Rogue tree, right? Movement speed here, movement speed there. Like you are gonna be fast for sure. Let's go into here. Increase crit chance, increase minion crit chance, crit multiplier, minion crit multiplier. Okay, this is the node that we enjoy. This is the Giga Chat node. Crit multi. Good, you know? Soy Boy, crit Giga Chat. There are two kind of players, okay? We are needle-like precision gamers. Obviously, just really good value, you know? Really good value. I don't know exactly how this will work also for things like Ballista, because remember, Ballista can also get your own crit. So I think something like Ballista will double dip from this. So Ballista should get, like, again, almost 80 crit multi from this, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty cool. And let's see this. You regain health when you or your minions crit an enemy. You have an additional crit strike avoidance. Your minions gain additional crit strike multiplier per 2% of your uncut crit strike avoidance. Guys, any Woven Flesh enjoyers, guys? Dude, Woven Flesh plus crit avoidance blessing, 100% crit multi. Just think about it, okay? This gives you 35, the blessing gives you 70, plus Woven Flesh gives you 100. You get those 3 items, and you have 100% crit multi on your minion. This is 100 crit multi, and this is another 80 crit multi for your ballista. So with these two nodes, if you go woven flesh, it's 200% crit multi. That's a lot of damage, and the health gain on crit looks pretty crazy to me. Because if you mix this with the Falcon stuff, the Leech of the Falcon, like the sustain is gonna be insane. I honestly prefer this way of sustain way better than this, because this seems more balanced to me. Because this kind of scales, you know, on density and stuff is gonna feel really good. But whenever you have like a single target and your ballistas are dying and stuff, and it's not gonna be as crazy. This, to me, this sustain is gonna go crazy. This one, it will be overpowered, but not as overpowered as other stuff in the game, you know. All right, let's keep going. Glancing blow, double glancing blow if you have not been hit. Again, kind of like, I think it's in the kind of like in the bife of this thingy. What was it? The health threshold if you're not being hit. So if you choose to go a bit more squishy, I guess you can go for this kind of nodes to at least have decent one-shot protection, right? We'll see. Okay, what else? Boom. Caltrops. Another teaser. Okay. You have additional dodge rating, and you now have a chance to drop Caltrops around you when you dodge. There is an enemy within 4 meters of you. This effect has a 2-second cooldown. Well, I guess we'll have to see what Caltrops are, of course. We will see. But Caltrops, Falcon strikes, dive bomb, traps, Falcon. You can. I think you can get an idea. You can get an idea. Zakur, this is just a teaser. It's just a teaser of the Falcon. Just a teaser, you know. Didn't Caltrops already exist? We will see. There might be multiple ways to get Caltrops. Protoss. There might be multiple ways to get Caltrops. We will see. Yeah, we took a look at this. Let's take a look at this. Your Caltrops from all sources apply 3 stacks of frailty on hit. I mean, this is obviously pretty nice, because when you play minion builds and you are not hitting yourself, it's extremely hard to apply frailty on enemies unless you have the Julra gloves or something like that. So this is nice, you know. If you get dived or whatever, you should be able to protect yourself pretty well. This is nice. And the final note, you deal more damage with other modifiers per stack of slow on the target, plus a slow duration. So obviously you can get up to 3 stacks of slow, right? 3? Yeah, 3 stacks of slow. So this should be 6% more damage, right? So you have 6% more damage there, and what is it? 5% more damage here. So you should be able to get, I would assume that this is the kind of stuff that you're gonna have on every build, pretty much, these 2 nodes, just for the more damage. I wonder if there's gonna be a way to apply this bonus to your minions. Chill also slows. It doesn't count though for the. This means the ailment. It doesn't. MML. So this is basically the teaser. I'm pretty sure I hovered over all of them. Which one is the one that excites you the most? Personally, this crit multi shit, in my opinion, just looks bonkers. Like, dude. Chaos Bolt. We can take a look at Chaos Bolt. Yeah, for those who don't know, you know, we're gonna be doing the full reveal on February the 8th, you know. We just wanted to do a bit. We've been working really hard on providing you like proper teasers and all that, so you can theory craft your own things and so on. And remember, you know, February 8th, we're gonna have a collaboration with Zizaran. You know, we're gonna make a video where he's gonna be showcasing a lot of the stuff. You know, we're trying obviously for the game to get as much reach as possible. So our mantra is basically to give everything to the community, make it as public as possible, and everything else we do is gonna be on top, you know. So obviously if you want to know my opinion of things, you know where to find me. But hopefully, you know, this is gonna have a lot of reach, and people are gonna be able to enjoy the new class, right? And you know, we're gonna be bringing you guides, resources, planner, all of that shit. So it's gonna be nice. Okay, it's gonna be good. Now let's talk about the Warlock, because obviously a lot of you have been waiting to see Warlock stuff, so we can take a quick look. But Warlock is basically like a very cursed and dot based class from what we've seen and what has been shown, right? And you know, it basically brings the curse and damage over time support that the Acolyte has been waiting for, pretty much. This is basically what everyone predicted, so it's not a surprise. It's not a surprising, but it's gonna be cool. And you know, wait to see the skills for the Falconer, because I'm sure you're gonna be pretty shocked by some of the stuff. I have a personal favorite, of course. Okay, so the Warlock passive tree. You probably have seen it in video format or screenshot format or whatever, but you can just hover over things. I kind of talked about it already on my stream today, but if I had to say what I think it's gonna be the best, in my opinion, I think Bleed looks extremely powerful. I think Doom Herald looks extremely powerful, this node. I think the class has crazy synergies with low life. We will see why. What is this? What is this? Google! What it? Oh my god, Bill Gates is fucking DDoSing me, you know. So what I was saying, I think this node is misleadingly powerful. I think this node is extremely weak, but people are hyping it up, so I don't know why. All the Wither looks crazy. All the armor stuff looks crazy. Looks like it's gonna have a ton of support for low life, and overall, really exciting. I think the overloads. I don't know what to expect from Witchfire. It's like a big dot. We will see. And obviously a lot of damage reduction for this class, you know, especially when channeling with these nodes. It's gonna be interesting. Obviously, I already have a build cooked, you know, and we already have we'll have everything. So for those who don't know the courses, you have a source of where to find them. So in case you these are missing, I'll fix it in a second. But in case you don't know where the new courses are located, refresh for embeds. Okay, thank you. See, I told you I would fix it. It's fixed. This is how we roll in this channel. It is what it is. Okay. So basically, you have different courses. They have different sources, and we basically mentioned all the ones that we know of and that we have been shown. Anguish basically makes it so it reduces the damage over time enemies deal to you. So this is kind of like indirect damage reduction against dots, right? And it also deals necrotic damage to the enemies afflicted when something dies nearby. So let's just say you have a group of enemies, they're all afflicted with anguish. Every time a minion, something dies, the anguish damage is going to get refreshed, etc. It does not stack. That's why it's just a refresh. And you can get it through the passive tree right here. To Encroaching Darkness, which is on Curse Cast, and on Dustbringer, which is hitting bosses or rares. Okay. Then we have Penance. Penance is part of Profane Veil. We will see it. And basically, Penance, what it does is when enemies, you know, they hit you, they take fire damage. So it's basically Thorns build. Yes, guys, it's Thorns build. Dude, we will see. I guess we'll see if you can scale it. If not, we will see. Hey, if you want to be a porcupine, go for it. You know, follow your dreams, all that. Good. Okay, the Crepify is probably the star of the show. In my opinion, it's probably the best curse. And this is access to Ghost Flame, the skill. And basically what this does is this curse makes it's a damage over time physical effect that also scales damage, adaptive damage. And what it does is that it makes it so the target takes more damage from over time based on the caster's missing health. So obviously, this is screaming low life. We don't know. I don't know the exact numbers because I mean they have not been showed. But if it's if you're low life and you're missing 99% of your life, I would assume this is just gonna be 99% more damage. I don't know. We will see the ratios. I don't know the ratios, so maybe the ratios are 2-to-1 or something. We'll see. But this looks good for sure. Acid Skin, TLDR, scuffed. Actually, upgraded critical strike vulnerability, right? Because is this like whenever an enemy is affected by this, they take poison damage over time, and they are 20% chance for curse enemies to be critically hit. It's just like a single stack of 10 stacks of vulnerability. So yeah, buff vulnerability at this point, honestly. So, and you can get it from fissure. Okay. Why do curses have dots if the curses don't have trees to scale the dots? Who says that, Illuminator? Who says the curses don't have trees to scale damage? Don't worry, because we have the full skill trees too. Do not worry. There might be... there are ways to scale damage. Yes. There are ways to scale damage. I just turned it and understood cursors like pointers. Do you think we'll get different sizes on cursors? Not in game, but I mean, there's different plugins you can use in the market, you know. Okay, so Acid Skin, you are more likely to crit. We will see if that's useful or not. And then we have Torment. Torment is a curse which deals 120 spell necrotic over 3 seconds. Damage applied applies at 200 effectiveness. It reduces the movement speed by afflicted enemies by 12%. Multiplicative, pretty nice. And you can get it through Chthonic fissure, right? It does not stack, but we will see if we can scale the damage or not. Let's take a look. Okay, so Chaos Bolts, obviously, it's gonna be bread and butter of this class. It's basically like it's kind of like Frostclaw on crack, I would say. It's like if Frostclaw, instead of going to Hogwarts, it went to hell, you know? It's like Satanic Frostclaw, pretty much. Satanic Frostclaw is the best way to put it, okay? So this ability has pretty crazy things. A lot of the interesting stuff is here in the bottom. So you can proc Harvest per Dexterity. And this can only occur 3 times per second. You can proc Riblot per Intelligence, only 3 times per second. And you can cast Bone Course once every 6 seconds. And you know, Bone Course lasts 8 seconds. So it's basically permanent Bone Course, right? This converts to physical. This makes it so it doesn't cost mana. It doesn't cost as much mana, but it costs health. So who knows if this is useful? We'll see. This is very, very interesting. Chaos Bolt hit refreshes the duration of your curses. So this is great because there's certain curses like Anguish and things like that are really hard to apply. And thanks to Chaos Bolts, you're basically gonna be able to don't have to worry about your uptime of curses. They're just gonna, as long as you're hitting them with the Chaos Bolts, all your curses are gonna be up on them as long as you have applied them first, which is really nice, of course. Then we have health gain on cursed and mana gain against cursed. This is good for self-sustain because the ability actually costs mana. Then you have Shred of Chaos, which has a chance to recast to even more chaos and more procs and more everything, right? Then you have all of these synergies here with zombies. You can see the multipliers here are pretty crazy. 35% more damage, 75% more damage on zombie explosions. So basically, if the Chaos Bolts hit the zombies like giga explode. So you're gonna be able to make some crazy zombie chaosing like explosion fiesta, pretty much. You can also make like a big bolt and it gives it a lot of damage, and it also has quite a bit of multipliers and spell damage based on mana and things like that. It's kind of like shurikens. You know how like the shurikens can become a chakram? We'll see. It's gonna be interesting to play with this and see if it's worth it or not. In the case of shurikens, it is, right? So we'll see. You can get increased area, you can get fear, cast speed, projectile speed. You can also get destructive intensity, which is a critical strike chance buff, and this is actually pretty good actually. If you just want to get flat crit easily, really nice. All the procs that we just mentioned, really good. The damn chance that can be converted to bleed or whatever. This is the node that I like the most personally, which is the dot per 20% missing health is 1%. So, you know, if you're missing 100 health, right, or 40 health is 2% damage, and so on. So let's just say you have 4,000 life, and you're playing low life. This node can give you, you know, quite a bit of multiplicative damage, right, which is gonna be really nice. So for sure, low life between this node and the Kerpify, very, very interesting. Then you have ailment chances on minions on hit. So again, you can kind of pass your properties to your minions with this, kind of, again, for hybrid builds, kind of cool. And this is very interesting. You can expand the duration of certain abilities with this node. Very good with Chthonic Fissure, obviously, because you just want it to be there and not have to cast it every whatever seconds. We'll see. Ignite chance that again can also get converted to like here with to Frostbite. And you say, Frostbite? What the fuck is Frostbite doing on in here? But they're going kind of like for like so cold it burns or so cold you bleed kind of thing, like a frost lich thingy going on. And my favorite note is this one. Freeze rate multiplier per 1% cold res. Physical damage over time per 4% cold res. Low life, if you're familiar with the current meta, synergizes really well with an item called Frostbite Shackles, which gives you ward retention based on cold res. So you kind of like see where this is going, you know? You get a shit ton of cold res. That gives you low life, that gives you ward retention, you get more damage from here, you get more damage from the Kerpify, then you're also freezing fucking everything. Blood, Frost, and Death is gonna be a build, basically. And you also get damage against shield, pretty nice. Double damage against shield. Again, this is for the hit version, but the shield chance is nice, you know, you don't have to spec it, it's nice. Overall, you also have some hit damage versus bleeding, ignited, damped, and frostbitten. So again, if you are very similar to Elemental Nova, you know, a node where you get damage or against, you know, shocked, shield, and all that. We will see if hit damage has a place. You can get quite a bit of damage between this and the single projectile, so we will see. Very similar to Hungering Souls, all of those skills. You can see 65 total points available for this one. Then we have Ghost Flame. Ghost Flame is just an absolute bonkers ability. The main thing about this ability that is worth talking about is the fact that it gives the Kerpify and the fact that it gives a lot of damage reduction. You have damage reduction here, 40% while channeling. Remember, this will interact with this damage reduction here while channeling, right? So that's 24 plus 40, right? And on top of that, you get another 20% less damage taken from curses. Plus, you also get more dodge rating and dodge rating per intelligence. 40 dodge rating per intelligence converted to armor. Guys, I gave my feedback, okay? We will see. They're multiplicative, yeah. They're multiplicative. They're different sources. They're multiplicative. But, you know, you can get, you know, DR here, DR there, DR on the passive, DR from Withered, DR from Curses, DR... You are gonna be a tanky boy. And again, this, from what in my head, doing the math, and this is just quick math, this single node, without having any armor on your gear, can give you like 10,000 armor. So, while channeling, of course. What else? You have channel cost, so it doesn't cost a lot. right? You have some damage nodes. We will see. You have word consumption to get like Stygian beams, which I think they're gonna be like laser beams, pretty much. We will see. I haven't really fucked with this. You can buff your minions with this node quite crazily, actually. You're gonna be able to get haste after channeling. You're gonna be able to detach the ability. Again, we were not able to record footage because more than the one that's already been shown, but I wish we could. And then you also have the physical conversion stuff, which happens here, which allows you to, bleed chance and physical leech. Pretty nice. And you also are able to cast marrow shards, right? Crit chance for 100 missing health. Again, another very low life synergy going on here. If you're missing, a lot of every 100 health, you get 3 flat crit. So this is gonna, yeah. We will see. It cannot proc that many times, It can only proc 2 per second, and with the 60% frequency, I assume it's gonna get close to 4. So I don't know. We'll see. It's gonna be interesting. But overall, I think you just grab the Crepify on dot builds, the Ignite chance, Damn chance. I mean, if you're playing a build, you have all the Screech Fear stuff. You're just gonna go for the Decrepify, you're gonna go for the damage reduction, armor conversion, mana cost. And I'm pretty sure that is the main use of this ability. But I could be wrong, we'll see. This is just my brain ticking things. Soul Fist. So Soul Fist, it's the ability that we currently had on Leech already. The main things that have changed are so this is basically the same. They have changed this. It gives Wither instead of Chill chance. So another way to get Wither with Remember, it makes you do more damage and makes enemies do less damage, right? All of the word stuff is the same. They buffed it a bit. It can spread curses also. So if you have, you can actually use, cast all your curses or activate your curses and then cast Soul Fist. Because Soul Fist needs a curse. So basically what this node allows you to do is that you could just spread your curses, and then from now on, just every time you Soul Fist, the curses are gonna spread, and then Soul Fist would target those targets after. So you can be like a kind of like a spreader thingy. It's gonna be pretty cool, I think. And overall, the bleed chance, the orb stuff, they changed this node into more armor per stack for whatever fucking reason. Even more broken than before. We will see, right? And yeah, and then they change how the recast thingies works to work like a Maelstrom, right? So you can stack it and then proc it. So again, it's gonna be pretty cool, It's gonna be pretty good. Channel 1 moving on Ghost Flame, yeah, it doesn't matter. It's like there, I don't think this is gonna be that great. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. I think this is kind of like Pepega, like because you want to be doing all of this, but we will see. You just want to be able to cast it like it's basically Rebuke. It's just overpowered Rebuke, if you ask me. I'm gonna have to leave soon, so I'm gonna speedrun this, okay? Profane Veil. Again, another ability that is basically Vladimir's, pool from League of Legends. There's a ton of abilities like this. Diablo 4 has a similar one. The biggest thing I think about this node is this. Damage to curse while concealed. So again, this is 50% more damage global, right? So to me, this node is just if you are gonna build around this skill, this is probably what you're gonna do. I could be wrong, but this is what I think is. This is I think what you do basically. It can also give you a lot of damage reduction, etc., etc. But I think this is the play. Like you play some sort of like Fissure build or Wandering Spirits build or something like that, and then you just basically do like an auto bomber, where you like throw your Wandering Spirits, throw your Fissure, and then you just use this fucking thing to buff them. And remember that this is a channeled ability, so you will also benefit from this node here, right? So we'll see. I haven't really explored this ability too much. So let me know what you guys think. What is gonna be the most? You can spread poisons, applying bunkers. You can get minions consumed for buffs and stuff. We'll see. You can move faster with it. You can get armor applies to dots. You can buff your wandering spirits. There's a fears. There's quite a bit conversions, etc. But I think this is the play basically. No matter what you do, this is the play. And then for last, we have a Chthonic Fissure, which is probably the coolest ability that I've seen so far from Warlock. And this ability is just a fantasy. You know, you throw a fissure, it opens up, starts throwing a bunch of spirits. And the spirits apply this thing called torment. And you're going to see torment is a curse. And you can make it get more damage per necrotic res. You can make it more damage per added crit multi. You can make it more damage. You can make it increase duration, other element duration, etc. So yeah, it's gonna be you are definitely, there is definitely a torment build waiting to destroy things, if you ask me. Notable notes: the acid skin stuff, really good. This note looks really interesting for bonus damage. Basically, the projectiles no longer attack the enemies and they attack you, and you get yourself buffed. Physical conversions, ignite conversions, chaos bolt procs, which this is what I think most people are going to be using for most of the builds, etc, etc. This is going to be great. And again, I'm really excited. This ability is great. Mana management is a big one on this. Tons of damage, and you can have a big as fissure with this. You can make it a traversal skill, so you kind of like, you open the fissure and you like traverse with it, kind of like a Moses, you know. It's gonna be pretty good. And again, you could even mix this and this together, and you know, you do some sort of like, you go into Ghost Flame and then you go into Profane Veil while you have your Chthonic Fissure going, and you're just like from channel to channel thingy, applying all the curses and getting all the multiplicative damages and all that. So pretty crazy, can get pretty crazy. Again, we explain a bit how or leveling is gonna work. If you guys want to get some hint, some of the mechanics, you know, obviously great synergy with Spirit Plague, Laceration, and Exsanguination, because Chaos Bolts hit the enemies and they proc more bleeds, and we basically think bleed is gonna be the best, and that's what I've been working on mainly. But we can't wait to see what you guys create. Have you guys played Warlock? I have like 300 hours or something like that. So I'm basically role-playing being clueless. It's just a thought, guys. I played a lot, yeah. You know, Warlock builds, we kind of like highlight some of the things that we think are gonna be good. And then obviously we have the Falconer teaser. Again, I hope you guys really enjoyed this. I was planning to do this earlier today, and it took 7 hours because we had to fix a bunch of stuff to make it look nice, and so it worked for everyone. And again, I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys have fun with it. I hope you can use also all the Warlock stuff. This is something we just did extra because we thought there wasn't that many good tools out there. So hope this guys makes you understand the class a bit better and way faster than what is available. And hopefully I see you on Falconer. And yeah, let me know what you guys think about the Falcon and stuff on the next stream. Again, thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna go. I have to go. I have a meeting, work meeting. So hopefully we can find someone to host.